At page 14, on that cartoon there, we always say satire sometimes says more than a whole article or a whole package story. So this is with regard to the health sector in the country. The stalemate, nurses are still on strike. And we have the Council of Governors here, the national government, and across them, the Kenya National Union of Nurses, whose seat is empty. And as the Council of Governors and, the national government, they're trying to talk, the Kenya National Union of Nurses is asking them, gentlemen, before we resume our talks, it may be important that we check your pressure and your temperature, because at the end of the day, there are human beings who may need medical help at some point. What is your feeling on how this has been handled, considering it's pretty much been downplayed by all the politics going on, and it's a matter of epic proportions. I mean, just yesterday, there was an article on the Standard of how 5,000 children in Kisumu County have gone unvaccinated. That is just Kisumu County. This is happening all across the country. Important vaccines like the polio vaccine, the measles vaccine. And this, at the end of the day, could lead to high repercussions for this crop of children as they grow older. This has been downplayed for a while. How do you think the country should resolve this?
Certainly so. My take will be the issue of nurses' strike has not been adequately addressed, as it were. Health is a constitutional issue. It's in the Bill of Rights. Every Kenyan citizen has the right to health care of affordable quality and standards. The elephant in the room with this strike is the issue about the collective bargain agreement, the CBA. There's a CBA which had been discussed by the Council of Governors. The parties had agreed on terms in issue of promotions, issues of payment, issues of certain allowances. The sticking point now will be how do you implement this CBA? That is the sticking point, because essentially after CBA is negotiated, it ought to be filed in court, and thereafter the government has a duty to budget and then implement it in phases. I really think it's just a matter of priorities. Health is very critical. Sometime we read that government is planning to build an over 300 billion road express highway. From Nairobi to Mombasa, you'll be able to cruise in just 3 hours. I think now that we have SGR, that express highway, as compared to health, will not be a priority. So I think the issue of nurses' strike ought to be addressed, because it is only the local people, the Mwananchi, the Wanjikus and the Tienos who suffer.
I mean, and now even as the political campaigns continue, Wanjiku still has their priorities that they need addressed. I don't know if you've seen any of the political camps really stressing on issues as important as health. So far they're still making promises on education, and which is important. But at the end of the day, you cannot have education with a country which is not physically well. But let's take a look at the Daily Nation.